Update. Would I be the a-hole for leaving the relationship without fighting for it after girlfriend suggested open relationship? Original post. I, 27 male, had been together with my girlfriend, 27 female, for 3 years. Stable relationship and no red flag from my point of view. Last Saturday, she asked for an open relationship. Her reasoning was we did not get to enjoy ourselves in the past and it could help us strengthen the intimacy and love. I rejected it and she seemed unhappy after that. I'm not going to lie, an open relationship suggestion out of nowhere is a huge red flag for me. It means probably there is someone else she has in mind already. I've been cheated on in the past and made it very clear that I want a monogamous relationship before being exclusive. Her suggestion made me mental for a few days. I want to break up with her. I do love her, but she opened Pandora's box and I'm not sure if I can trust her in that relationship. It will not be healthy for both sides. Would I be the a-hole if I leave the relationship without trying to salvage it? I tried saving my old relationship when there were trust issues and it did not work. I just did not want to harm my psychology, struggling. At the same time, I doubt myself because I love her and it's a 3-year relationship. Now for the top comments before reading the update. More info needed. Has she been complaining about lack of intimacy? No. I asked if it's related to that, but she said no. It's not about quality either. We both live with our families and still have 3 to 4 times intimacy a week after meeting up. She has already found someone or has already slept with that person and is just looking to alleviate her guilt. 3 years of monogamy and she's talking about strengthening love and intimacy? What in the ever-loving hell? How do you strengthen love and intimacy by going out and sucking another dude's junk? She just wants to sleep around with a safety net. That's all there is to it. Dude, you need to update us on this. And I hope this update is that you broke up with her because anything else besides that is you opening yourself up to misery and pain you do not need nor want. You would not be the a-hole. Open relationship suggestions like that out of the blue are usually, as you said, because they've found someone they want to sleep with. Or because they've already cheated and they're trying to find a way to make it okay. She's talking straight BS about strengthening intimacy and love. Open relationships are a huge strain on both of those things. Regardless, time to move on. Don't fight for it. Just move on to someone you can trust. Thank you for your input. My thinking is similar to yours. If you look through the subreddits and AITA, there are hundreds of stories that start and end the same. Someone mentions opening the relationship and everything ends in a messy crap show. Just get out now. Salvage what exactly? You wanted monogamy, expressed your wishes, and she countered with an open relationship. Dude, there's nothing to salvage. You would not be the a-hole for walking away. Exactly. That's just a deal breaker in compatibility. Unfortunately, those occur, and there's not much to do about it. No one is the bad guy here, but these two needs simply do not work together. Better finish it amicably before turning each other miserable by dragging it out. I'll never understand how sleeping with other people strengthens love. Like, hey, you know what would be amazing for our love life? Not spending it together. Lol. It doesn't. She just wants to sleep with a coworker or something and not feel guilty. She may have already, and is asking for a free pass because she's afraid it's going to blow up. This is exactly what happened with my cousin and his wife. She asked for an open relationship. He was actually open to it. Then she admits that she's already sleeping with someone. So he divorced her. Now for the update. I made a post 2 days ago about my relationship situation on his subreddit. I want to thank everyone. I took my time reading most of these comments and there were some really useful advice. I talked to her yesterday and broke up with her. I told her I thought about her proposal and wanted to ask her a question. I basically asked why she proposed going open relationship out of nowhere. She said she heard of it from her friends and would like to try it to strengthen our relationship. I asked her if she had someone in mind already. She said no. I thanked her for her answers but stated I want a strictly monogamous relationship. Also, I told her how my trust for the relationship was shaken after her proposal and I want to break up with her. Wished her the best and prepared to leave the table. She got angry. A bit too angry at me. She called me insecure and called me every name possible in the book. I left the table quickly after hearing these and went back home. She started calling me, texting me in an angry tone, and I just had to block her. We both live with our families, so breakup was quickly done. No need to take my belongings from the shared home or anything. There was no problem until here. Today a friend told me she saw her with a male coworker the same night and asked me if I knew it. I told her we broke up yesterday. So yes, she definitely had someone in mind. It does not hurt as much as I thought it would. Maybe it's because I was ready for such a thing. Maybe my mentality changed after the last time I got cheated on. My mindset is all about moving on and not worrying about things I cannot control anymore. Whether she had been cheating during the relationship or not, I do not care to know. All I can do is to move on and live my best life. I have a trip to South Korea this month and I want to enjoy it. Thanks for all the advice, Reddit. Take care. Not sure why she's mad, but who cares? All the best. That's an easy one. She only brought up open relationship because she thought he was scared to lose her and would cave in. He didn't, which ticked her off. You can't bruise her ego, lol. Worse, he dumped her nearly instantly. No letting things go so she could cheat behind his back. She never thought she would be the one getting dumped. She didn't just have someone in her mind. This was an I don't want to feel bad for cheating on you question. Well done for not tolerating her BS. She wanted it to be his fault. She's just an innocent party in all this. LMAO. It's so funny how a good number of women call men insecure for basic things. Anything they don't like is called insecure or controlling. Lol. If you want to act single, be single. End of story. Or you are an incel. For real, all of these words have lost any and all meaning at this point. When the first thing that happens after breaking up is they call you every name in the book and such, then it's like, yup, made a right call. Hearing about the seeing her with another guy is just icing on the cake. Yeah, them getting mad about you sticking to your guns is such a validating thing because it shows they don't respect you or your opinions, just that you aren't going along with what they want. Of course she had someone in mind. She just wanted her cake and have the bakery to come home to. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Hope he can do better. They always have someone in mind. Former friend of mine basically went to his fiancée and told her, "Hey, I have a real huge crush on our friend. Can we open our relationship?" Lasted all of 2 weeks. Shocking. Bold of him to at least be honest. Can't respect 99% of it, but the honesty is refreshing. LMAO, right. The dude basically went to his partner and said, "I want to cheat on you. Can you give me permission so I feel okay about it?" And she agreed. Rose-colored glasses and red flags, I suppose. Next story. Am I the a-hole for leaving my wife for cheating on me with a family friend? I am a good dad, 26, and a good husband. I've worked my butt off for my family. I started a company to give my kids a better life than I grew up with, and I'm the most caring husband I can be. I work a lot since my company is only 3 years old. My wife, 24, stays home with the kids 2 and 4. She has been a stay-at-home mom from the start because I wanted that kind of life for her and our kids. My wife has been wanting a break, so she asked to sleep in a hotel and go up to Salt Lake with her friend she hasn't seen in years the next day. I trust my wife, so I say sure, that's okay. That was last week. When she got back, she was just being so rude to me for no reason. Because the kids made a little mess, I didn't clean it up right away. By the way, the day before her hotel visit, I worked a 30-hour shift overnight on a job, got 6 hours of sleep, then stayed up another 26 hours to work, then moved furniture around the house to get the windows done, falling asleep for 2 hours, then getting up to get the kids out of the house while she headed up to the hotel. She was rude to me the rest of the night. I later found out she was talking bad about me to my sister as well that night. Anyways, the next few days were kinda the same with her just being rude. Then about 2 days ago, she comes home after being gone for hours, is rude to me at the start, then flips it to being super touchy and nice and she tells me a story. She says she saw a friend at a gas station, then ended up meeting them at Target and talked to them for an hour in their vehicle. She said she was telling me this because my sister texted her that she saw her at Target and wanted to tell me what was up. It turns out, she had been really meeting with a guy who was a family friend of mine I've known since I was a kid. She told me she's been only talking to him for a month and she insists she didn't sleep with him. I asked about the hotel and she said he never came and he was on a business trip. This a-hole works for a tinting company. I looked through her phone and she was using Instagram vanish mode to talk to him so I can't see anything what was said. I'm freaking devastated. I looked for her friend's messages and she had not talked to that friend in 43 weeks. I asked her about that. And she said the chick is in an abusive relationship and she had to use Instagram vanish mode. Pretty convenient. So I worked my butt off to get her a hotel room just so he can bang another man. She swears up and down they only kissed once, but how could I ever trust her? How does that even make sense? She pressed me so hard to go to the hotel and to get home the night she went to Target. I've been so good to her, but she threw it all away. Her family has been trying to get me to forgive her when she has lied to them about the facts too. They keep saying they only kissed and stuff. Are you kidding me? I feel broken. I was the best I could be. I wish I could stay, but I simply can't. I feel like I could die inside right now. I haven't slept other than passing out drunk. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop wanting to die, but I can't do anything like that since I have kids. So am I the a-hole for divorcing my wife for cheating on me with a family friend? Edit. I have already talked to my lawyer, but I needed to talk to my wife about how we are going to switch off with the kids. She still thinks there's a chance for me to stay. She's begging me not to leave. And I keep trying to tell her nothing will change what happened and this is the end. Edit 2. She insisted she was a stay-at-home mom. She always flaunted it to her friends, and she never wanted to get a job when we were going through some tough financial times. Now for the top comments. She didn't get a hotel room to just kiss. You know it. She knows it. Not the a-hole. Even if all they did was kiss, that's cheating. That's crazy. I was gonna say this. Kissing is cheating. Sneaking around with another man is cheating. And yeah, you don't get a hotel to kiss once. Exactly. And even if you kissed once then panicked knowing you messed up, you would have left immediately and went home. You wouldn't have spent the night with him. You damn sure wouldn't come home the next day and disrespect your husband. Those are the actions of a deeply guilty person. Not the a-hole. She doesn't even regret it. She only regrets getting caught. You would have never known if not for your sister. This wasn't an oopsie. It was a planned and executed affair. Don't stay. What would that teach to your kids? She never would have told him if it wasn't for the fact his sister saw her at the Target with a guy. 100% she probably was crap talking him to the sister to try and start the story that it was a bad marriage or something. You have proof of infidelity, a garbage wife who you don't have time for, and a company that may take off. Why would you not get divorced? It's just too bad most states don't care about that. OP will have to sell his company and give half to his wife, then pay for 2 households, all because his wife wanted to screw around. This sucks. And if he does anything she doesn't like, OP's wife will say something like how he molested the kids or physically abused them, and he loses everything. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend what did you expect after her partner left her for a fitness trainer? I, 27 female, have a friend, let's call her Emily, 29 female, who has always been confident about her relationship choices. Emily had been dating Jake, 35 male, a fitness enthusiast and personal trainer for the past 3 years. She often boasted about how Jake's dedication to health and fitness rubbed off on her and how they were the perfect fit for each other. When Emily and Jake got together, there were murmurs among our friend group about Jake's commitment issues and his penchant for dating younger women. But Emily brushed off these concerns, convinced that her love for him was enough to keep him by her side. Jake had a history of dating women much younger than him, and Emily knew about it. However, she believed Jake when he assured her that he had outgrown that phase of his life and was ready to settle down with someone more mature. Despite the warnings and doubts from her friends, Emily remained steadfast in her belief that Jake was different with her. She proudly posted pictures of their gym sessions together and their healthy meals, convinced that they were building a strong foundation for their future. However, things took a turn when Emily discovered that Jake had been seeing a 22-year-old fitness trainer behind her back. It turned out that Jake had grown tired of Emily's occasional indulgences and wanted someone who shared his intense dedication to fitness. Heartbroken and betrayed, Emily came to me for support, devastated by Jake's betrayal and feeling blindsided by his actions. Frustrated by her insistence on ignoring the warning signs and her belief that she was the exception to Jake's dating pattern, I couldn't help but blurt out, "What did you expect?" I reminded her of all the doubts she had pushed aside, all the times she had boasted about being Jake's ideal partner, despite the glaring signs suggesting otherwise. I didn't mean to be harsh, but after years of listening to her disregard any criticism of their relationship, I couldn't muster up sympathy. Emily was shocked by my words, accusing me of being unsupportive and implying that I was blaming her for Jake's actions. She stormed off in anger, leaving me wondering if I had crossed the line. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for being brutally honest with my friend when her relationship crumbled? Or should I have been more sympathetic despite my frustrations? You're not wrong, but you're definitely the a-hole. She came to you for support. Nobody's saying you had to lie to her, but the fact that you felt the need to scold her just to feel superior is pretty crappy. You told the truth, sure. That doesn't change the fact you're a crappy friend. Literally, your friend comes to you in need of a shoulder to cry on, that she probably didn't expect, seeing as how she was likely being manipulated by the guy probably, saying whatever he could to assuage any doubt and continuously gaslight her if he wasn't slick enough to shoot any sliver of doubt down the second it became airborne, given she was so sure about their foundation. And you feel she needs a "I told you so." Like, I've been with quite a few manipulators / straight up narcissists, covert and overt. Some got found out quick. Some were so slick, convincing, thorough, calculating, and or sweet, it was disturbing looking back. Absolutely soulless. My friends try to tell me about 2 of them, and those were the ones that had me most convinced. And some people are disturbingly good at hiding just how quick they'll switch from declaring their undying love to you to being fully prepared to use you as a bulletproof vest the very split second they're caught in a crossfire. I can't imagine blaming anyone for believing what someone they love tells them, no matter how much that person seemed suspect. You're supposed to have faith in those you love because you typically believe the concern is equal. How do you blame somebody for choosing to believe their person? You're the a-hole. Damn, why have enemies when you have friends that'll punch you when you're already down? Yeah, but sometimes you need an extra kick in the teeth to realize you've been kicking yourself in the face. Am I the a-hole for giving my stepdad a sign that says you're not the father during Christmas dinner? My mom and stepdad have been together since I was 5, married since I was 6, and I'm now 20. My dad died when I was 5. He and mom were separated but not divorced when he passed away, and mom started dating my stepdad a few weeks later. I met him about 5 months after my dad died, and he moved in with us after a year, and they married 14 months after that. My mom really wanted me to have a dad and found my stepdad a good partner and someone who could be a good dad to me. Only I never wanted another dad. So, I always called him by his first name and referred to him as my stepdad. He and I have butted heads over this a lot, as he thinks I should be his daddy's little girl. I think it's crazy that he feels I owe him that, and owe him from the start. It annoys me how often he likes to bring up that my dad's dead. And the fact I hardly remember him, because a lot of my memories faded with time. And when I was 7, my grandpa died, who raised my dad after my grandma died when dad was a baby. So, I lost all contact with that side. The older I get, the worse it gets. And even with 3 boys, he is still focused on me being his little girl. I have told him that I appreciate him, but I won't ever call him dad. I spent a lot of time with my mom's parents as a kid and have a bedroom at their house. We had Christmas at their house this year, and all morning my stepdad was bringing up these stories of adult stepkids asking stepparents to adopt them, and on, and told me I would be asking him soon enough after all these years. He found this article on Facebook about a woman asking her stepmom to adopt her, where she talked about it being insulting to call her stepmom, because she was always a mom to her. He said that was him with me, how I only ever had him as a dad, etc. It got on my nerves. I told him to stop. So did Grandma, who told him nobody wanted to hear about that at Christmas. But he would not let up. So, I went up to my room at my grandparents', grabbed some old art supplies I still had there, and made a sign that said, "Jason, you are not the father of Gracie." Think the Maury show and how that was like a meme for a while. When dinner was ready, I brought down the sign and gave it to him and told him whenever he needs to remember, he can look at it and adjust his expectations. He was angry. My grandparents and half-brothers laughed. The oldest of my brothers actually said his dad needed something like that because he never seemed to understand it. My mom tried to calm him down, but he told me I was an ungrateful and disrespectful little girl who would be sad when he finally gives up caring about me. I told him I never asked him to annoy me, but to accept I will never call him dad and will never allow him to adopt me. I told him we could be close if he just accepted I don't see him as my dad. My mom wants me to apologize, but my grandparents think he should apologize for always pushing. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Normally, I would have thought the sign was a bit much, but apparently he would not get the message even after being told repeatedly, and even after 15 years. He seems to have real control issues. I thought the same thing. This man isn't upset about her not wanting to be his daughter. He's upset he can't control her. Not the a-hole. Creepy AF. Your mom should have shot this down ages ago. What's up with this fixation? I am thinking, specifically because of the adoption language, that he is wanting validation and praises from others about everything I did for this child. In other words, I think this is a savior complex, and he wants recognition for his good deeds of saving this poor girl who lost her father, and then resentment for not getting it. OP not the a-hole. Step needs to grasp reality and get over his ideas of how he needs to be validated by you and others for his perceived acts of heroism regarding you. Stay strong. Not the a-hole. Jason is super disrespectful of your dad's memory. Yeah, that pisses me off more than anything. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not accepting and opening gifts from my mom and her family? My 16 male parents divorced when I was 6. Mom remarried when I was 8 or 9, and her husband has 2 kids, 12 and 14, with his late wife. They were always favored. They got more attention and more gifts. I complained, but was always told they lost their mom. After some time, my mom adopted them, which I hated, and everyone still used the same excuse. It all came to head this November at my birthday. I got half the value of gifts than them for their birthdays. I was angry and argued with my mom and her husband. In the end, I told them that I don't want gifts from them and the rest of my mom's family ever again. Neither for my birthday nor any holidays. I am done. For Christmas, I am with my mom at the morning and then go to my dad and stepmom in the afternoon. When I woke up, I went downstairs to make me some breakfast and the kids were already opening their gifts and mom told me to open mine. I told her I don't want any gifts and to just distribute them to others and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. Mom, her husband and grandparents came after me and told me how ungrateful I am and to just open the gifts. I argued with them. Things were told, people were offended, and I went to my room and locked it. I waited till my dad came and just sneaked out of the house. I told my dad what happened and he told me I should just open the gifts. I got some text from my mom's side how I ruined Christmas and made my mom cry. She texted me and begged me to come home, but I told her I'm not coming till 2nd of January when my school starts. Should I have just accepted the gifts or am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You were clear in your expectations. You expected equal treatment, didn't receive it, and let them know you'd no longer tolerate it. It's a shame your mother allows and encourages this. Do you live with her? Can you stay with your dad? And I'd point out that you didn't ruin anything. Her treatment of you ruined things, and I'd even ask her why she cares so much. Thank you. My school is in my mom's city, so I'll live with her. My dad is in another city 40 minutes away. I still have 2 years to go. I hope I make it. There is always tension in my mom's house when I'm there. We went to family therapy, but I always felt I was being gaslighted by everyone. I'm just done. Not the a-hole. Enough with their BS. Instead of the presents, imagine your mom and stepdad are serving you a disgusting soup every year. You taste it year 1, you don't like it, and it makes you sick. Next year, same. At this point, you know how the soup is going to taste and how you're going to feel. No need to subject yourself to this experience. Your mom crying is really funny to me, and the fact that she says you're ruining Christmas by not tasting their disgusting soup is sick. Wow, that is a great comparison. I will use that in next family therapy. Thanks. Actually, this is something my therapist told me. Glad it helped. Not the a-hole. The ugly sisters open their gifts and get wonderful presents, and Cinderella opens hers and it is nothing like her stepsister's gift. And everyone smirks and feels powerful, and Cinderella feels humiliated and less than. But what if Cinderella doesn't open the present? Then no one has any power over her. She is the one with the power. My mother was a narcissist. She played loads of mind games, but I learned to take back the power, just as you did there. Yes, it hurts. It hurts bad. But you put yourself in the driving seat. You didn't ruin Christmas. You just drew a line in the sand. You just told them you are not putting up with the nonsense anymore. It is hard to enforce that as a minor, so good luck. Don't let people bully you into being the victim. Am I the a-hole for giving my wife's Christmas present to my sister? My sister is back with us at the moment and been living with us since October because of ongoing divorce with her husband. My wife was not a fan of this and wanted my sister out and told me to give her our other accommodation, which we own, to my sister whilst she settles for divorce. But my sister wants to live with us as she gets lonely and won't have anyone cook for her because this whole thing is stressing her out. My wife has left our business because of broken leg, so she can help with the cooking for my sister. Since the start of the year, my wife been wanting Dyson Air thing for hair. I don't get the excitement. And yes, I bought her the gift in November for Christmas and I wrapped it and put it in our garage. Few days ago, my sister was wrapping gifts for Christmas and asked me what I got for my wife. I told her it's a Dyson hair product and a Gucci perfume, which is around 700 pounds in total. My sister got excited for my wife, but said again and said she wanted Dyson hair product too, and used to beg her husband to buy it for, but he never did. Apparently, he gifted the Dyson to his now girlfriend. This obviously made me sad, so I wanted to buy her another Dyson hair product same as my wife. I also had wrapped shoes for my sister for Christmas. I went to different stores, but it was sold out. I looked online and it would only be delivered after Christmas. Because there was no option for my sister, I just removed the name sticker and put my sister's name, and gifted the Dyson I bought for my wife to my sister. Keep this in mind, I bought my wife extra Gucci perfume, so she still got the gift. And yesterday, I gave everyone their gift and everyone was happy. Until my mom told me that she saw my wife's face during the gift giving and my wife looked hurt apparently, and asked me why I didn't gift my wife the Dyson instead. I thought she was happy with the gift perfume I gave. I told my mom the truth that my mother is calling me an a-hole. My parents wanted to buy my wife Dyson hair for Christmas but asked me before they bought it, so I told them I was going to buy it for my wife. So they thought I'd actually give it to my wife and not change the plan last minute. Now my mom told our auntie too, and she thinks I was an a-hole too. I told them I will buy my wife again because we will have plenty of time, but they think it won't be the same as Christmas magic. So am I the a-hole? Edit. My sister did not live with our parents because they live up north in Scottish Village. We live in England because our business is in England, and my sister works here and her work is 20-minute drive away from where we live. My wife can walk. She doesn't need crutches. The reason she left our business was because of broken leg. But she's mobile. But she decided to rest after her cast was off. Now for the comments. You're the a-hole. But thanks for explaining quite clearly why your sister got a divorce. And why you'll get one soon too. This. Oh my goodness. You're the a-hole. First off, how is it fair to anyone that you make someone else happy on another person's account? Poor wife. She has a guest in her house against her will, for whom she is also cooking for, because apparently the sister is just very, very sad. And now she has to compromise on her gifts too. As the comment said, we can clearly see why she got divorced, and why your marriage will be rocky too. Jesus Christ. Obviously, you're the a-hole. Think of it this way. Your sister wanted her husband to buy her something and he bought it but gave it to someone else. You think he is wrong for doing this. Then, your wife wanted you to buy her something and you bought it but gave it to someone else? What the heck is wrong with you? Adding that onto the fact that you've moved your sister into your home without your wife's approval. And now you expect your wife to cook for your sister. She's a grown woman. She can cook for herself. And if your wife doesn't want her there, she should never have moved in. Why do you care more about your sister's feelings than your wife's? Even your own parents see that you're being a bad husband. How are you this dense? Guess the sister can keep Opie company during his divorce. Opie is such an a-hole. If he keeps it up, wife don't stick around. Sister can't cook. They will need a new maid who will get no more presents. The sister can't cook because she has the SADS. Wife with a broken leg can cook for the sad sister. If I were the wife, I know where I'd stash the crutches when I was done with them. Last story. Am I the a-hole for saying no to my in-laws taking our kids to Disney? My male 28, wife female 28, and I have 2 daughters, 6 and 5 years old, which is prime Disney age. They're both super into princesses and all that. We've talked about taking them to Disney over the next few years as we know they'd love it. My wife has never been before, and I've only been once when I was 10 years old. It was definitely a memorable trip for me, as my family had to save up a while for it. We've always known that Disney would be our big trip with our girls. In July, my father-in-law got diagnosed with prostate cancer. After a few rounds of chemo and some rather intense days at a hospital, it's only gotten worse. It's spread across to other organs in his body, and rather than trying to suffer to fight it, he's opted to just not do chemo and try to live with what time he has left. As a result, him and my mother-in-law have decided to make more memories with family. One of these memories is to take our daughters to Disney and surprised them with a trip yesterday during Christmas. At first, I thought my wife would be against it as well. We've always said we've wanted to get to experience taking them and seeing their faces. However, I found out that my mother-in-law cleared it with my wife last month. My wife didn't tell me because she thought I would be surprised and excited for our daughters. I sat through all of the rest of the night, but when we got home, we had a serious discussion about it. I told my wife that I didn't want our daughter's first trip to Disney to be without us. She suggested we go along, but the trip is in February, and booking flights plus hotel plus tickets for just my wife and I for the time they're all going is still going to be almost $5,000. I told my wife that we have to talk to our parents to decline the trip, but my wife is saying that I'm being selfish and heartless by robbing our daughters of this experience and robbing them of a core memory with my father-in-law before he passes. Am I being out of line here? You're the a-hole. Your wife is right. I understand your disappointment in not being the first to take your kids to Disney, but these are special circumstances. Their grandfather / your wife's father is dying and wants to create memories with his grandchildren that will last once he is gone. It's small-minded and selfish to take that opportunity away from him and your children, just so you can be the first to have the experience with them. Do you think if you do this, your wife and daughters won't resent you for what you are taking away from them to satisfy your own selfish need? If you do this, remember, someday your daughters will be adults, and think about how they will look back on this and what they will think about you. It's Disney. They will light up every time regardless of being the first trip. Also, what they get out of it will change as they get older. Right now, it's probably all about princesses. When they're a little older and bigger, it's maybe all about the rides they can now ride. You're the a-hole. Don't take this incredibly thoughtful and meaningful gift away from your children, especially when it is a chance to create some core memories with a grandfather who doesn't have much longer to live. Take it from someone whose grandfather also died when I was young. These are the kinds of memories they will cherish. It would be incredibly selfish to take this away from your children, and also from your wife. This is her father who is dying, and she probably wants this for your kids more than you know. Either figure out how to make this trip work, or take them again when you can afford it. Guaranteed they will love a return trip, and likely wouldn't have gotten to see all of it the first time, so it will still be a magical experience. The kids will appreciate it so much more when they are 9 and 10. Plus, it will trigger lovely memories of a special time with their late grandfather.